What's really happening with homeowners associations in America? What's up, guys? My name is KMAC, and I'm your local trusted real estate agent here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But before we get into today's video, if you don't mind hitting that subscribe button and making sure to like this video, it would mean the absolute world to me. Now, in the United States, there are approximately 370,000 HOAs, or homeowners associations, which essentially accounts for 1 in every 4 Americans living in an HOA. Known for imposing fines, forcing home sales, strict restrictions, and sometimes high fees, the questions arise: how have HOAs become so influential in American neighborhoods and the housing market, yet have also caused so much pain? So let's take a step back into history. Now, during the rapid urban expansion of the Industrial Revolution, the use of steam and iron in construction enabled mass building. However, this growth often outpaced local government capabilities, leading to minimal oversight and essentially inadequate public infrastructure. Now, this situation resulted in neighborhoods lacking basic services, such as accumulating trash, and in some cases, turning into the absolute slums. Now, for the most part, I think we can all agree that HOAs have a good intention, and for the most part, depending on where you live, they definitely serve a purpose, but there are also plenty of cases where HOAs are just an absolute scam. Now, wealthy Americans during this time sought out to escape these conditions by forming essentially gated communities, like the first HOA, Lynn L. Park, in 1857, effectively creating a physical class divide. Now, HOAs evolved into more of a private, micro-sized community governed by a board. These boards control 2 crucial aspects: residency and lifestyle within the community. Initially, HOAs were absolutely exclusive. Not long after, local governments found HOAs advantageous. With HOAs managing local issues like sidewalk repairs and sewer maintenance, governments could focus elsewhere while still collecting taxes. This led to incentives for more HOA developments, further embedding them into the American housing landscape. Now, HOAs claim to offer benefits like cleaner streets and higher property values, but their unchecked power can be often problematic. HOA boards can dictate everything from a house's color to lawn decorations, and the penalties for non-compliance can be absolutely severe. For example, visible trash cans or disliked lawn care can often result in fines. Now, I'm actually going to give you guys an example here and not name the city or the HOA specifically because it's an active listing of mine, and yes, I'm indeed trying to sell it, but the HOA is giving us a hassle. Now, the issue here is it's a very affordable home with a really affordable HOA, but the HOA, for who knows what reason, didn't really utilize the funds correctly, so they doubled the HOA over the course of essentially 1 year alone. So a couple $100 HOA, which was relatively affordable for most, coming into almost $500 for an HOA starts to make it quite unaffordable, especially for folks that are living in this community because it's not a very high-end community. Now, oftentimes, if you have an affordable area with a lower HOA, some of them may be investors. Now, when you decide to double an HOA, that's going to push investors out, but it's also going to push those entry-level buyers that wanted to purchase that house or purchase in that community because it had an affordable HOA. You're essentially pushing them out as well because that HOA is too much for them to afford. HOA members typically pay monthly dues, contributing to a significant combined annual revenue. Additionally, HOAs can impose fines for rule violations, sometimes leading to extreme measures like property liens, and even foreclosure for unpaid debts. Now, I know a lot of us in the real estate industry can hear about foreclosures. Most of the time, foreclosures come from essentially not paying your mortgage or maybe not paying your property taxes. But yes, HOAs can also foreclose on your property if you get into debt and don't pay your HOAs. Now, HOAs operate through private contracts, or CC&Rs, with rules tied to the property. These rules can be restrictive and new owners must comply. Legal interventions in HOA disputes are rare as courts view living in an HOA as a choice, despite the complexities and power imbalances involved. What may actually be a little bit shocking and contrary to popular belief, research actually suggests that homes in HOAs may not appreciate in value as much as those without. Studies have actually shown that some non-HOA homes had a higher rate of appreciation. Now, I may not be personally a fan of HOAs, but they definitely serve a purpose. Now, you may have actually heard of a news article that came out just this past year in the real estate community of Austin, Texas, technically the north end of Austin, Texas, where an individual in a community that used to be very, very rural land, but because of the growth of Austin has essentially now become a suburb. Now, this person purchased this property solely because they were not going to be in an HOA. And because of that, they actually wound up painting their entire house pink. Yes, you heard that right. pink. Now, this would certainly not fly in an HOA community. And a lot of the folks locally here that bought in this community with the intention of feeling more suburban-like, because that's essentially what this suburb has now grown into, more of a suburban feel. But you've got a lot of creative people in Austin or downtown Austin that can't afford the city of Austin anymore, so they're buying homes out in the suburbs and essentially making them their own, especially if they don't have an HOA that's restricting them. So while HOAs offer a regulated, exclusive living environment, the assumption that HOAs universally boost property values is not always true. While some homeowners may appreciate the benefit of an HOA, and I can definitely side with them in some aspects, others may find the financial obligations and restrictions a deal breaker. Now, whether or not you're an advocate of HOAs or someone that can absolutely not stand HOAs, they're not going anywhere. At the end of the day, they offer amenities that people are going to take advantage of, even if it means that they're going to be severely limited in terms of what they have the option to do with their house. But also on the other side of the spectrum, you're going to have plenty of people that err towards neighborhoods that don't have HOAs because, again, if they're going to be purchasing a house, they want to have full entitlement and right to do whatever they like or whatever they want with that particular house. Thanks again for watching, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. It really does help, and stay tuned for the next video.